Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you're at. I'm sure if you're in Australia, it's a good morning. So, I've been accustomed to a lot of uh, time conversion lately. I had to convert times for people to come on from Dubai, from uh, what is it, Bahrain? What is that country? Yeah, regardless, I've been doing a lot of that, but welcome everybody. Welcome to the podcast Football Tonight. We are live on YouTube, and of course, you are listening to us on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on all your big listening platforms. So shout out to you. Of course, rate us, smash the like button across the board. We are also live on Twitter if you want to join us there.
Oh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got our
como
own Twitter,
estás?
man. Of course. And
Formerly known as Twitter. It's X, baby. X.
okay, yeah, whatever. Um, a lot of Premier League talk, man, and actually, it's a lot going on, but not much going on at the same time. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's quiet. It's weird.
It's weird.
We have one big transfer for your team. Sadly, your boy, Mr. Calvin Phillips, he has signed for West
Oh,
Ham United on a loan. So that was
it
one of the
seems.
bodies
Well,
that
when was
I
that
think that
confirmed?
I don't know if it's pretty close. I was pretty sure he's about as Joe Linton can be, like that kind of hard runner, big body
Mm,
up top, bit more of a ball player than Joe,
right.
but that's someone that I think
Well,
your boys could have done for.
I think. I mean, I'm not. I would have liked to have Calvin Phillips, but I'm not crazy about him. So it's really what's really going on right now with Newcastle, man. It's just every day there's something, a player leaving. Kieran Trippier is going to Bayern Munich. Now today, Miguel Almiron came. Two or 3 days ago was Lascelles leaving for Besiktas, and every day there's somebody leaving. And it's just kind of concerning because we're not really adding anybody at this point. We're not even, there's no rumors of somebody coming onto the team. There were Calvin Phillips, and that's that.
Yeah.
And that's the concerning part. I was talking to I was mentioning earlier a fellow from Dubai. He's a big
Hmm.
YouTuber for NUFC. He isn't in NUFC Matters with Stephen Wraith and a lot of the guys, and he was saying that if they don't get anyhow anybody this window right now,
Yes.
that
Yes.
is a precedent for what's going to happen next season. If you don't get your manager
Mm.
anybody right now and you sell his core, that means he's not going to last any
Yep.
longer. And that's
Yep.
a big deal, man. What do you think about that? Do you agree with that?
I think that's reasonable. I think as a person who's been in on the transfer mill machine for a long time, a
Right.
lot of it is bunk, right? You need like a
Right.
lot of heat for it to believe, not just one, not ones and twos, not trickles. I think what's happened is there's a little bit of a narrative that says Newcastle can't buy until they sell. So the transfer machine starts with players leaving.
Yeah.
And it's the idea that, hey, if this is the story this that we're going to go with, then players have to leave in order for Newcastle to sell. I do think that if they don't back Howe, I think that is a signal to Howe that we don't trust you, right? We don't trust
Mm,
you to move us forward if we're not going to give you players. I do believe, though, that they are hamstrung by some of these rules. I think that ultimately the Everton penalty and the way they're handling this next round of things has teams spooked. I think that they used to think, oh, yeah, we'll just pay our way out of it. The PIF can break FFP rules if it's just going to be a money fine. They'll just be like, okay, fine, we'll just pay. But if it's going to be a points fine, then you can't mess around. There's a lot of stories going on there. But I would be worried if I was Howe, especially the way things are going. I think that there are new rounds of players coming through. I think Jose Mourinho being available, as much as I don't think that he's the answer, he is a fish. He may not be as big a fish anymore, but he still has won more recently than Eddie Howe has.
well, I do trust Eddie Howe more than Jose Mourinho
I
right now.
would too, because he'll burn the thing down.
And that's the thing. Like Mourinho doesn't give a damn about like I'm not saying that everybody does this for money, but at the end of the day, I guess perception is a big thing, and I just have the perception that Mourinho can go to Roma, tear the club down, leave, go to another one, and it's just and I think
He's
that's
but the thing is
he's on that mode.
he's running out of places, right? It's going down and down and down
He's
and down. Like,
definitely Mourinho is definitely on that mode right now. He just going to club to club? Might go to Saudi Arabia at
I
some
don't I
point,
think he
and
already turned that down. I would like to see him. I'm not even being funny. I would love to see him in the US. He would be
for the
hilarious.
U.S. team.
They would eat him up. It would be funny.
Well, I don't.
He would be on all the talk shows. Stephen A. Smith would be like, Jose Mourinho is the president of the US national team. He would
But
just go nuts. He'd have Shannon Sharp. The whole thing would
mm,
be hilarious.
but and do you even see Mourinho coming to the Premier League for any other club? I mean, listen, actually, I've had Newcastle fans tell me um,
No, they don't
he
want him.
had a really close relationship with Sir Bobby Robson,
He
and
did. That's true.
at some point, he's called upon. The Magpies of Beyond are calling him and drawing him in,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
don't know, man. I just feel like he would just
No,
probably
I think
divide the
his
club.
yeah, he would because that's how he does things. He's almost like if Trump was a manager, it would be Jose Mourinho. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just a divisive player. Let's see what Lewis has to say. Here we go. Give me something to chew on.
Oh, there it is. Lewis Newcastle fan says it's a big if Man City gets charged with all the charges, they could
Please,
actually get
please, please,
relegated to the National League and the fifth English
please.
football. Oh my goodness.
City's going down with a billion in the bank. A
Well,
billion in the
but
bank.
that
A
but see, you're
billion
trying
in
to
the bank.
change if you're trying to change perception and like if you're trying to change the narrative of Manchester City and the heritage and everything else, you don't want that. But I'll give you this. Well, first of all, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't.
Let's
It
take a
would
step
just
back, though. Let's
it
take
would
a
just
step
take a
back.
big. It would take
Right?
big nuts
If
to do that.
Juventus, after the Calcio scandal, can go down two divisions and have Inter win the league all those years with Mancini in the mid 2000s and come back and then win eight Serie A's in a row, anything is possible. Let City go. Do it. Just make it end. We'll
Mm.
just deal with it. Everyone believes City cheated. They did cheat. I don't care. Let's just get it over with. Sit down, Mourinho. What does that mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want Mourinho. A lot of people don't want him,
No, I
um,
wouldn't want him either.
but look,
I'm a Potter fan, but less so than I used to be.
the manager on task is Eddie Howe, and we'll see what happens. But I would definitely have to agree that you have to read between the lines as far as if you sell their main core, basically Trippier, all these leaders, Lascelles
Mhm,
could go,
mhm, mhm.
and if you sell these guys, you got to also you can't be naive, and you got
Mhm.
to think, look, it's not looking pretty good. I mean, if you don't bring anybody in, especially that he's part of those conversations. If he wants a certain player and you don't bring him in, then it definitely it can cause
I got
trouble.
a name. I got a tricky name for you. You ready?
Well,
People are gonna laugh at me. But if you want to sell Trippier, I'm the player to buy. The player you buy who does the same thing as he does is as good a crosser of the ball, is as good a fullback as you'll find, plays wing back, whatever. Because it's not like it's not like Trippier is a great defender anymore. You sell Trippier for the money, whatever the money is, and you buy. You guys are gonna laugh at me. Alfie Doughty from Luton Town. I know you're gonna laugh, but how
come on,
is
man.
Luton scoring these goals? You want to know how? They have the best crosser on the wing of any team in the bottom half of the league. But this is how you get around things. You sell for 50, you buy for 5, people laugh at you, and then you watch Alfie Doughty cross bombs into Callum Wilson and you score goals. He's that good of a player. What a crosser of the ball, left-footed, fantastic. Maybe he's on the wrong side and I've got my numbers wrong, but Livermento and Doughty to me would work. I'm just saying, this guy's creating shots and goals. If you watch the championship, if you watch Luton, there's a reason this team is where it is, and half of that reason is Alfie Doughty. Incredible cross over the ball. I'm just saying it's an idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I come up
at
with
the
wild stuff.
I'm not too. Uh, I think Newcastle needs to get names, man. That's just the
Yeah,
way it
you think
is.
they're at the name level?
Yeah, man, we got the name that I mean, listen, we got Isak, second best striker in the league. That's a big deal. We need somebody that can be behind them, and that's a tougher job than people think because I mean, how do you pitch a player that you're not going to play, but I
Mhm,
mean, so you got to get it right when it
mhm.
comes to the sub. You need one because Callum Wilson also getting tied to Atletico Madrid and possibly living. And actually, to be honest with you, it's insane because a lot of these players they're rumored with big teams. Bayern
Mhm,
Munich. How can Trippier turn
mhm.
down Bayern Munich? And
You
how can
can't,
Callum Wilson turned down Atletico Madrid and the possibility
you
of
can't,
going to a different club.
you
I
can't.
don't think Atletico Madrid is bigger than Newcastle, but we can sit here and debate. But regardless, it's a team that is that can fight for their league at this point. That can get European football, and so it's tough. It's tough. It's just a matter of that we cannot invest, and that's the biggest thing. We cannot. We are owned by we got a lot of money in the bank as far as owners go, but the business don't have that money at this point or cannot use this money at that point. So,
Well, you know how I feel about FFP, PFP, whatever the hell they're calling it. It's a scam. It's working. It's protecting Arsenal right now. It's protecting Manchester United right now. It's protecting the teams that it was designed to protect. It's protecting Spurs right now. Those teams, it's protecting Aston Villa. Those teams should be petrified of what the power of someone like Newcastle could do. And now they're protected because they put in a system to protect those clubs. It is designed to keep the status quo. And they pulled up the drawbridge, and City is fighting. If any team should be defending Manchester City and saying, I don't want to hear about this FFP bullshit, it's Newcastle. They should be like, no, no, no. Let them spend. It's bullshit. It's a witch hunt. Because if they came for us, they'll come for you.
mm, yeah.
Okay.
Uh, Now, Manchester City are one of a lot of those fans are coming on to my Newcastle channel, and they're very supportive, even though they're part of this Big Six conversation. And it's obviously because that's how they had to suffer that in the very beginning. They're the team that actually, as well, like Newcastle fans would like Man City to keep succeeding over any other team in the Premier League. I'm actually taking uh, fans' comments on this, and it's real. If there's one team that people that if we don't win it, a team that they would like to see succeed would be Manchester City. So that's a good. I don't think there's beef between us, man, and it's not the oil thing. I mean, I don't think it's
Those
not that.
countries aren't friends, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
Oh yeah, the
listen.
countries. Well, no, Abu Dhabi and Saudi Arabia are they in beef? I don't think so. I
I
think
have no idea. I have no idea.
I,
But I do think that there's a lot of that. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we can talk about the games that went on. We saw Liverpool winning, staking their claim. We saw Arsenal in a must win, get themselves a nice, relaxed win where they don't have to worry. They're chilled out. We have the week before. We saw Avin Tony with, I don't know how you feel on the debate. What did you think about his moving of the spray and moving of the ball thing?
um, what he did was move the ball right from what?
He moved the ball twice, and then
Yeah.
he took the spray because it's got like a solidity to it, and he moved it a few inches to even get more space on the second move. So it's ball movement, then foam movement,
Mm.
then ball movement again. And there
Well,
is a
I
there
don't
is a
have.
by the way, there is a belief that it was all rehearsed because they went after the ref and kind of made a
Well,
ruckus so Tony could move it.
I tell you this, I'm South American, so I'm cool with that. I mean, I
Me
don't,
too. I thought it was awesome.
I'm cool with that, man. Yeah, yeah. Hey, listen, that's just minor. It's literally,
It's gamesmanship.
yeah, that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's all good, man. That's
Yeah.
not. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's
Did
the
he did
same
he
thing
did
with.
he learn it? The question I have for Newcastle fans is, did he learn it while he was at Newcastle? Because he
Oh yeah,
came from
probably,
Newcastle.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. You get all the bad trickery
Yeah,
from
I thought it was amazing, and I
but
thought, but I also thought as a US fan, we're here, Matt Turner's terrible. How do you let that happen? He just shot it straight in. It was
But the thing
terrible.
is, the thing is, look, I keep because people I did see people go crazy about it. And let me tell you something, man.
It was awesome. I thought it was cool.
You do that, that doesn't make the ball go in. I mean, it's the same
Yeah,
thing
it's
as
still an amazing shot.
it's the same thing as a it's an offside rule. Like you got your toe ahead and you think that you got advantage of the over the defender. No, it's no, you don't. You know what I mean? They just had to make a rule very literal. That way, you know what to call. But now they want to change it. But yeah, that doesn't. It's that doesn't make the shot less or more easy for the attacker.
It was
So
an
shut the
amazing
hell up, man.
it was amazing. I loved it. The only person who was sort of over the top was, in the US, we have Robbie Musto of the hated, Middlesbrough, because I know that's that sort of Northeast area. He
Mm.
really went on a moral high horse of just like, "That's not right." I'm like, "You know what, dude? If that guy was on your team and he did that, you would be over the
And that's
moon."
the
Now,
thing.
if you're a Nottingham Forest fan, you are aggrieved. You're petrified. You think it's the end of the world. You're like, I can't
Yeah,
believe this happened. First of all, where is the Nottingham Forest wall running out and being like, yo, I would have run up right to the ball and be like, he moved it.
yeah.
What are they doing?
Well,
Like,
what you
there's
gotta
guys,
do, what you gotta do in that in that situation is, if you're a
go
defender, if you're
batshit.
so, you got to have leaders that are watching the whole entire thing before it happens. That's when
Yeah.
you gotta do it. You know what I mean? If you see
Yeah.
that, you gotta go, "Hey, ref, look what he's doing. He's moving the ball," and then you stop the play. Kind of like it's just gamesmanship, like you said. You gotta have gamesmanship when you're
There's a
attacking and when
there's a
you're
there's
defending,
a there's a
both.
great word that the English use that I love. Shithousery.
Yeah, yeah,
Or
no, that's facts.
skullduggery. Even better
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, Lewis says when Man City and Newcastle plays the oil derby. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
so
own
what?
we own that. We own that, man. We
Good.
own that nickname. Man, I love it. Um, I wish Premier League had automatic offside decisions like in the Champions League.
I wish we did.
It would work
I wish
better, and
we
there
did
would be
too.
less. No, that's for real though. Like the one in the Champions League is amazing. Like
It's
you
fast.
can they have a technology where you can actually see the player, in front, or whatever the occasion is, and it works perfectly. And I feel like the Premier League, I'm sure they're not short of money, so they need to invest in
They'll
that
do
stuff.
it. They just like to wait. So I'm on this new kick where in all sports. So I watch everything. I watch NFL football, I watch basketball, I pay attention to Premier League mostly. I listen to a lot of stuff. And one of the things that I notice is aside from the NFL in the US at least, all the sports are slowing down and they have more replay and there's more creep and more stuff. And they have
Mhm.
more rules and they're trying to tighten and tighten and tighten and tighten. I'm the other way. I want them to be less rules. I want to remove rules. I want to go back. What's the handball rule? Player cannot touch the ball and gain an advantage. That's all I want. And then from
Right.
there, the referee makes the decision. Just like a judge in a court. There are laws and they're interpreted. I want there to be less rules. I want the football rules that come from FIFA. Don't have more, have less. Take it out. Take stuff
Right.
out. Let the referee call the game in the moment, in the context of the stadium, in the context who's there. Because ultimately, what does it matter? It's just sports. Why are we trying to make it perfect and precise? It takes away from the game. When you watch those FA Cup games last week or you watch the championship and calls get made and there's no VAR, it is fantastic. I think fans have forgotten how much flow there is when there's no fear that it's going to get called off. Like, how many moments do we have to feel this sort of like edging feeling of like, oh, they got to check it? It's going to kill the
Right.
game. It really, really is. If it can't be automatic, don't do it.
Yeah.
And
Let's
that's
talk
just
about
ridiculous.
Premier League, man. You know what is happening in the Premier League right now? We finally finished week 21.
Yeah, it
It
took 2
took
weeks.
it took 2 weeks. We finally got it done.
Yes.
But the standings are looking pretty much the same. Actually, I predicted this. Aston Villa dropping the fourth at some point in
Mm,
time.
mhm,
Their schedule was going to get tougher, but really
mhm,
they lost one, and then tied the last one.
mhm,
But
mhm.
at the lead, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Tottenham, West Ham at sixth, and then Man
And
United,
9th.
Brighton, Chelsea, Newcastle. But the first five, let's do the first six because you get European football, a shitty one, but you still get it, in the sixth spot. Now, I mean, Liverpool 48 points, man. That's a nice lead right there. That's two games. I mean,
Yep,
that
yeah,
is
I
a
mean,
nice
now
lead.
people usually count a game in hand as a game, so really it's getting back that same battle, that Liverpool versus City, who has the wherewithal and the spirit of a champion to
Mm,
really go head to head, and it's those two teams. I don't think it's I don't think it's harsh to say we don't trust Arsenal, right?
wow.
We don't
Yeah,
trust
man.
Arsenal
But
that when it's
to
nut
be
that when
but
it's
hold
nut
on.
crunch time that they won't fold.
But hold on though. That to be fair, Arsenal got 43 just like Man City, Aston Villa. So I mean, it's just by goals at this point.
But
And
who down the stretch do you trust? If you want, let's do a trust meter. We have all the teams that
yeah,
are in the top four. What team do you trust down the stretch in nut crunch time, in the run in, to
well,
win the title and be like, we got to win this thing? No more bullshit. We got to win every game, no matter what. There's 10 games to go. What is your trust ranking?
yeah, I mean, you gotta trust Man
Who do
City
you got number
first, of
one?
course, right now.
What team do you trust most?
You gotta trust Man City first. I will give you that.
Second would be Liverpool. I
Don't
trust
yell at
Liverpool
me.
second. Third, I'm gonna. I know this sounds
No,
crazy.
no, no. I'm not gonna trust Man City first. What you talking about? Like the
In the trust rate, like let's say down the stretch, let's say the table started 10 games to go. What team are you taking?
well,
If they were all even, let's say for some
well,
reason
that
they're
it's the
all in
same.
like 70 points down the stretch.
If you have the conversation of who's the candidate to win it, that's the same conversation. I mean, you
It's
might
not
just not
though.
say that.
It's a
What do you
little
mean?
bit different. It's a little bit different because I think that I trust Unai Emery to win big games down the stretch as a manager who's won titles versus Arteta.
Well, I mean, nah, I don't know. This is a different league, though. I mean, he has won, and he does have more experience winning
He
trophies
is a
than
four-time
Arteta.
Europa League champion.
I get that, but the Premier League
What has
it's
Arteta
just a
won?
different
Nothing.
format. I'm just talking about it because the format. Winning a cup is different than the format. And I'm not saying
That's
it's
why I
one.
said 10
I'm not
games to
saying,
go. Who
and
do
that's what
you
I'm saying.
take? Who do you
Eh,
trust?
I listen. I trust Man City over Arsenal anytime, but I'm gonna put Liverpool this season above Man City, man.
Because of those 2 points?
No, big, no, not 2 points. It's 5 points, but
But
uh,
City have a game in hand.
okay. But I'm saying this season, Man City don't haven't given me really the trust that they all season they've been really iffy,
Yeah, they have
and then
been. They
again they
also
can turn
haven't
it
had
on.
Kevin De Bruyne, and they haven't had
I
Erling
get
Haaland
that.
for a month.
I understand that, but that's we'll see what happens. Kevin De Bruyne can get hurt next week. That's that's very
It's very
very
possible.
possible as
Possible.
well. So you
Yes.
know what I'm saying? I'm just taking
But
it with
not
a
with
grain
that
of salt.
hair. The hair
Taking
is
it with
gonna
a grain
save
of
him.
salt. And right now, Liverpool without Salah are doing
They
making things
played
happen.
one game in Bournemouth,
Oh
okay?
my
One
man, you're
game.
not gonna give them. You can't. There's no way that what can they do for you to give
No,
them credit?
no, I fear no team more
You
than I
don't fear
fear
Liverpool
Liverpool.
at all?
I absolutely fear Liverpool.
Then what are you talking about?
Absolutely. What I'm saying is, on the trust meter down the stretch, there are only two teams that I really trust: Liverpool and City to go toe to toe, ready to go and go win after win after win after win. And you lose by fractions. I do not trust Arsenal. I do not trust Spurs because one of the wonderful things about football is the institution of your club is carried with you. Postecoglou can be the greatest manager of all time. He has to overcome Spursiness, and that shit is real. I don't care what it means. It's in the air. The fans feel it. Arsenal have to overcome their Arsenaliness that they've had under Wenger, collapsing down the stretch last year. They just did it again in the same circumstance, the same group of teams: West Ham, Liverpool, Fulham, same group. They faltered again. Where do they find the wherewithal to lift themselves up? I don't trust Arteta. He's too emotional. He loses his shit on the sideline, and that translates to his team. I trust Emery. I trust Klopp. I trust Pep. Nobody else.
Do you agree with Lewis Newcastle fan that says that City first, sorry, City first, Liverpool second, Arsenal third, and fourth, Man United? I don't
Why do
think
you why if he has Man U there, he's trusting Man U's where Manchester like some
fifth
internal
and fifth Aston Villa.
energy from outside of now, you could make the argument that United are playing like that right now because they're by far the worst team of the top 10. By far. And they're somehow in it. So if you think that they're
Just
going
because
to
they get points.
improve because they're living off Unitedness, which is possible, like they should be worse and they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Then
is
then I
true.
think that's a reasonable take. I think that there's no
Uh,
way they could be as bad as they've been because they've been bad. Oh my god.
but right now, mid-season, man, it is actually important to see how these matches go now because the race is going to start getting into shape,
Yes.
into and that's is start going to start really looking really good. It depends, man. Arsenal's still up there, and they are still very much in the battle. And I think that if that is should be the game plan for Arsenal, is staying in battle, staying
That's what I
within
mean.
reach,
Yeah,
staying
can
within
they
reach.
be there? That can they be
That's it. They don't need to
they
be
gotta
first
be
right now. They
5
don't need to
games
be
to go, they're 5 points behind. That's where they need like
and when it comes to the end, then that's when they need to know it's time. And it's about whether they have that as well. You know what I mean? Two things. They need to have the mental capacity to stay within reach, and then the mental capacity at the end to be able to say it's time. Everybody needs to
to
sprint.
kick on.
Everybody needs to sprint. And it's difficult because a lot of Arsenal fans have thought they don't have a striker, and that's going to be a big deal. I know they were trying really hard to make people believe that they were coming for Isak. That's not going to happen.
They
And
don't have
Liverpool,
this I don't think they have the spirit for the
yeah,
fight.
well,
Can I say that?
that very well could be.
I thought that they would win the league, but I thought that they would win the league because City would decline and Liverpool's midfield would keep them away. I thought that they were the most solid group and that they would build enough of a lead that they could take the blows of being able to work through the pressure. Meaning
Mm,
they have an 8-point lead, they drop two, they settle in, they finish strong, and they're like, okay, we did it. They get over the line. But seeing as Liverpool's midfield has been where it is and has been a transition, and seeing where City kind of has played bad and they're still there,
yeah.
Arsenal are 10 points off where they were last season at this time. And I thought they'd be 5 points off or something like that, like somewhere where they could hang in there, but they just aren't there. And I don't trust them. I don't trust Arteta.
Well,
And I think
but I mean, that's a see. That's why I don't like stats because you just made it look like that they're bad.
they're
But
not
they're
bad.
no, but you say like they're 10 points off. If they were 5 points off, like they're literally 5 points away from the leaders and no points away from the second place. So you know what I'm saying? Like it's that stat is pointless, and you should be jailed for that for what you just said because
All
they're
I
still
was
right
it was
there.
in listen to me. It's in the context of what I expected, right? They did not improve. They've gotten worse.
But what if the rest didn't improve either, or even regressed a little bit? From what I think, Manchester City
Mm,
regressed a little bit.
they did.
Not a lot, but they
They did.
regressed. So maybe they still maintaining the same level of distance. Liverpool, to me, is a team that I can trust to
They're
win
way
the Premier
improved.
League this season.
They're
But
way improved.
see, I think they improved, but I don't think they're way improved. I mean, I think that there it's just Liverpool is similar to Manchester United, where they get points, they get matches.
Yeah, they do.
Obviously, Liverpool way more than Man
They
United,
pull shit out of their ass all the time to try
and
to
so
win.
I can remember a few wins like with Fulham with Nottingham Forest. At the end of the game, bang, bang, bang. That's Liverpool. Manchester United does it, but they do it with lower level teams. Like they suffer against
Oh my
like
god.
Luton or
Hey, listen,
Sheffield.
man. But here's the thing that's crazy about Liverpool, and we're probably to your point, they should be talked about like they are title favorites or title contenders. Think about this. They have one loss, and that loss was the Tottenham game where they got a ridiculous red card against them and an offside
Yes, sir.
goal that was removed.
That yeah, that
So
was
they
crazy.
could be
So
potentially an undefeated team at this point. So that is going to be their kind of like what they want to hang their hat on is that
mm,
they should be undefeated. So I'm just, by the
That
way, what
is
I'm doing
true.
right now is I'm looking at after 21 match weeks last season. I want to give you the table. You ready? Okay.
Go ahead.
After 21, oh, this is not right. It doesn't have enough games. I got to do one more. 22. Let's do 22 just so we have it matched, evened up. Okay. After 21 games or 20 games, Arsenal had just lost to Everton. They were on 50, with City on 45. United were on 43, Newcastle on 40, Spurs on 39, and Liverpool, after this many games, were really in bad shape. Liverpool last season at this time, where I can't even find them. Am I losing my mind? Oh, we're in 10th on 29. So they're way improved, Liverpool, right? They are almost 19 points better off after 20 games last season. That's a tremendous improvement. We have
Mm.
City are just 2 points off where they were last year, and Arsenal are 7 points off where they were. I don't think anyone thought that that would be where they were. And for all the Spurs talk, Spurs are only 1 point where they were. Spurs collapsed down the stretch after Conte blasted the team to pieces. And then the other team that is way off their pace is Newcastle. Were on 40 at this point last season, but are now on like 30. So they were 10 points off. So really, the two teams that have regressed and come back to the pack that are allowing for this 3-team race are Arsenal, United, and Spurs. I mean, and Newcastle, with Liverpool flying up the table. That's what happens. You rebuild your midfield. You have the best attack in the league, and all of a sudden you're gone. Right? That's really what's happened. Salah out for a month. They'll be fine without Salah. They have the best. That's the place that they can miss player. The player they can't miss, if Van Dijk's out for a month, if Allison's out for a month, they're in trouble because they have the best defense in the league, and it's because of Van Dijk and Allison.
And now let's go down a little bit on the table and let's take a
Oh,
look. Not all the way down. I know you want me to go way down. I'm not going way down. I ain't gonna talk
you know
about
what?
no
You know
damn.
what? That's for my show. My
Yeah,
show is just so I can talk about the terrible teams in football.
yeah. No, I'm talking about a little bit down. Aston Villa, Tottenham, West Ham United, and Manchester United. I think that is. I
That's a
hope
big group. Yeah, that's a good
Newcastle
group.
was up there, but they're not. Right now, we're not showing signs of pulse, pulse signs. So we're just, like in the coma right now. But we're gonna get there.
Yeah,
Aston Villa, Tottenham,
it's a
West Ham,
tough
and
one.
Manchester United. It's they're right there. Actually, I'm not even gonna play, man. I don't even think. I think it's Aston Villa and Tottenham right now alone in that conversation. You could put West Ham a little bit, because Tottenham and Man United are literally 8 points away, so that's too much. Um, so I'm going to say that
I'm
I'm going to say
gonna. Are you
Tottenham,
ready?
West Ham, just Tottenham and West Ham. They're on
I'm
that
gonna.
fifth.
I'm gonna channel my inner will. You ready for the stats?
Yeah.
You ready for the nerd core? Okay. Not everyone likes XG. Not everyone likes to use it all the time, but
Oh
it
my
is
God. Here we go.
indicative of performance in terms of how many shots you create, how many you give up. Here is the XG table. You ready? In
I'm
terms
not
of
ready,
XG
but yeah.
difference. You ready? Arsenal in first with Liverpool and Man City all around 1 XG per game. So they're very, very close to each other. That's the top three. Then, shockingly, and this blows my mind every time I see it, Chelsea are fourth in the XG table. Why is that? Because they're the worst finishing team anyone has ever seen in history, along with Aston Villa in fourth. Now, Spurs have gotten lucky in defense and in attack. That is true of all Hyun-Min Son teams. And
Yeah.
then your boys are right in 10th. United are the worst of the group, and West Ham are awful at XG. Now, that's because of style of play. So if I want to go by the nerd form, that says to me that the chances in that 5, 6, 7 spot will probably be Villa, Newcastle, Spurs, United. That would be my guess. Spurs have been incredibly lucky this season. So Will can go by the stats and the numbers and say
But they're
underlying
still
numbers,
right there
whatever.
for we got 40 points though, man. That means see that's the second only stat that matters. The first one is goals.
I
So,
agree. Listen,
they got
I
40
agree.
points,
They're in the
man.
bank, but what I use for that is to give a sense of what should I look for? Where is the team underperforming? Where are the problems? What has
Yeah.
why have they gotten where they are? With Tottenham, it's been Vicario making amazing saves and then finishing of Son. which is
Mhm.
true. With Chelsea, that number is reasonable because they really don't give up that many goals, but they just hold on to the ball for hours and can't finish. So that makes sense. And then the third one would be United is actually poor, and we know this. And then for Newcastle is all those chances that they don't score because I know you watch them. You know that there are times when they don't finish. Almiron goes in on goal, they miss it. Isaac is out for too long, or Callum Wilson when he's available is fantastic, but they need those guys to be there more often, and they're just not getting the defensive breaks that they needed because Dubravka is really not as good as
He
Pope.
is he
Pope
is
makes
he
a
is
big
good, bro.
difference.
He is good. He might not be good as Pope, but he is still saving our ass.
He's
Big up.
making saves, but is he stopping attacks from happening? Is he
Well,
catching crosses?
he ain't supposed to
Is he
stop
coming out
attacks
aggressively? Yes, he has to stop attacks.
on corners on set pieces, but he's not. If there's a counter attack, what is he supposed to do? Just be
If
just
the
supposed to
ball
be there.
comes over the top, come out and sweep it.
That could be, but that he's not just supposed to be stopping everybody's.
No, no, no,
the whole
but,
entire
I
match.
mean,
Uh,
there's a lot of stuff sorry, this was my heater. There's a lot of stuff that goes into all these things.
yeah, big
You
up.
should get into it, man. Get into
No,
it.
I'm not gonna get into that shit. Big up Kevin Chilvers, man. He's a top lad. He lives in Atlanta, and he is English. He's living on
Oh,
this side.
okay.
He's come to the dark side, and he is definitely going to be helping me out. He's a coach as well. That's what he does for a living,
Oh, that's
coaching,
fantastic.
and he is going to be tomorrow live with me on the Newcastle panel show, and then he's going
Fantastic,
to be
fantastic.
on the batch preview as well. He's a great addition to the
Kevin,
to the.
tell us about what happened with Atlanta football. You had this amazing moment with Atlanta United,
Well,
and then it sort
he's
of
the
fell
one.
apart.
He's the one that gave us Darren Neals. He
Yeah.
told Darren Neals get the hell over to Newcastle and save our ass,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Eels and Ainsworth, that's a good group, but they can't make, as my father used to say, and it used to piss off my mom, you can't shine shit. They need
Yeah.
players. You can't make something out of nothing. But yeah, Eels is a big step up. We have to talk about the big moment that happened in business. The Man City director goes to
Yeah.
United. That's
That's a big one.
huge. You know, I've been talking about the rot from the top. This is the first time that we're seeing from United an actual person go, hey, let's just go get the best guy from the best team. Maybe that'll work. And so
Yeah.
it makes sense. If I were a United fan, I'd be very happy. As a City fan, there's no loyalty. I get it. If you're an ambitious executive and you're stuck behind the two greatest executive team in world football, where are you going to go? What big club can you go to? You
Oh,
take the
he
biggest
didn't want to
club
move.
that's in the worst shape and you make the jump. You go for it.
And you don't move your family away. That's a big deal actually. People
Yeah,
don't
it's
think about it.
easy. Yeah.
But he just changed parking lots. Man, Kevin Chivers says that's a separate show for Atlanta United. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I
But
want to get the guy's name. Omar
yeah,
Berada.
Omar. Yeah, Leska actually came out and talked about. He got a lot of money. Leska, not as much money as Kunawera per se. I'm sure, but he should get the hairline fixed. He got a damn
Are you
spot
talking
on it.
about Julian Lescott?
Yeah, Lescott. And
Well, it's not fair. He does have a giant scar on his head.
well, you can put some implants. You got money, man. Don't be looking crazy
You
like that
can't
on TV, bro.
implant. He does look terrible. Yeah, that's the thing with City. We have these pundits that are coming through. They all look terrible. What we
They're
need
trying.
is Vincent
Come
Company
on, man.
to
There's nothing but Manchester United pundits out there. You got to
no,
represent, man. Somebody.
City pundits.
No,
We
but
need more.
I'm saying like that's what I'm saying. Like whenever you get some city pundits, you can't be looking crazy, man.
I know.
You
We
gotta,
don't have any good ones yet. We
you
don't
gotta
have any good
represent.
ones yet.
You only got
It's
him. I
Mika
don't even know where he
Richards,
plays.
who's famous for laughing and only played like 2 weeks for this team. It's Sean Wright Phillips, who, by the way, is a City pre-takeover legend. We loved him. He's a
Sean Wright
local
Phillips,
lad.
yeah.
Yeah, but he's Ian Wright's son, adopted son. Uh, so we have him, and then there's a few other ones like Paul Dickoff will get rolled out. They roll out Sean Goder, but those are like they're sort of like from the second division. We don't have the stable of players yet, right? Like it used to be
Oh,
Richard Dunn.
actually, that's the one I forgot. Micah Richards, yeah. He
Yeah,
says
he's
wonder
just too
how
much.
how much royalties Micah Richards getting. Yeah, he's actually good, man. He got he
He's fun. I
He's
don't think
fun.
his analysis is very good.
Yeah, it's not good. He's a
No.
showsman. That's what they got him
Yeah,
for.
he's funny. He laugh he's got the big laugh, he's got the
Yeah.
Meeks thing. Everybody likes him, but give me Carragher and any day of the week. Like, I love Carragher.
Yeah, no, I love Carragher. That's my guy.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, I love Carragher.
but
I
yeah,
like Gary Neville. I don't think Gary Neville has a lot of conviction. I don't think he watches a lot of football. I mean, obviously he watches
man,
a lot of football.
you are a pancake, man. You flip flop more than I cannot believe this. You
Why?
were
What did I say now?
writing because you were writing on this dude's. Well, it's a PG. We still got 7 p.m. over here. We can't say nothing, but you were writing on this dude so heavily, Gary
What?
Neville,
Gary
and
Neville?
then
I like
yeah,
him,
you were
but I
defending,
prefer
and now
Carragher.
you're gonna say that he has no conviction.
No, I'm
And
saying
I hate to
he's
be your
no, no,
friend.
no, 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 you misheard me. He has a lot of conviction, but
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know that he watches as much football as we want to
You
think
can't.
because
That's
he can't it's
bullshit.
not possible, right,
You cannot. Nobody
right.
is unless you're not married. You got no
Now,
kids.
But Carragher does because he doesn't have any other businesses. He's not doing 7 other things. Gary Neville's doing 1,000 things all the time. Like, he has a TV
Yeah,
show. He runs a team. He has, like, 3 hotels in Manchester. Like, he's doing too much to watch enough football, whereas I think Carragher really does watch a lot of football.
yeah. We got another comment coming up. Kevin says, "What about the greatest strike in the Premier League history, Sir Alan Shearer?" Hey, no, that hit, man. Don't say nothing
All he
about
talks
him, man.
about is throwing elbows.
Don't say nothing about him, man.
All he does is watch Newcastle.
Alan
He
Shearer.
doesn't
Well,
watch all the other
I
teams.
tell you, yeah. Well, that's a true fan. He gets paid and he don't give a shit. They tell him, "Hey, Alan, we're supposed to be watching Sheffield West Ham United play." Man, fuck that. I gotta watch Newcastle. Come on, man. He gets paid
By the
millions.
way,
I love.
Sheffield West Ham United was really good. Don't sleep on that game. It was really
I do.
fun.
I'm telling you. And by the way, I love Shearer, but he is the only player that looks different after he retired than he when he was a player. He looked completely different. Like he don't even look like
Yeah,
the
he's
same dude.
old. He's getting old.
I know, but
Yeah,
I'm just
by the
saying,
way,
man.
respect to those who watch Sheffield versus West Ham. Sheffield was
Oh
really
man,
good. My guy,
listen,
James McAtee. You want to buy a good player? That's a
man.
guy you need. He's real
And look,
he's
it,
he's he's gonna be James Madison before James Madison becomes James Madison. He's the next James Madison. That's how good James McAtee is on Sheffield United. You gotta watch these lower league teams because when your team buys someone, you're like, who the fuck is that? You gotta know. You gotta know. That dude is good.
man, I'm not watching no damn Lord. I'm not
Dude,
watching
I'm
them teams,
telling you, man. Keep
bro.
an eye on these good players that are down in the lower divisions. They're out there. They're to be had. They're not expensive. They're really good right now, right? Like I used to watch freaking
If you watch like well, West Ham is high, but like if you watch Luton play
Alfie
Bournemouth.
Doughty, baby.
If
Legend.
you watch Luton play Bournemouth on the weekend, you're fat. You live in your basement in your mom's. You live in your mom's basement. You got cookie crumbs all over your stomach, and
Shut
you
up.
got
Don't
nothing
talk
to
about
do.
me like that.
And you got nothing else to do for your life. I'm not watching Luton.
Ah, that's
I'm
me,
not.
baby.
I'm
That's
not.
me.
I'm not watching none of these. Come on, man, stop playing. Unless you're paying me, Sky
I do.
Sports,
I do.
Athletics,
I do watch those games. I love them. I do.
ESPN,
A game
whoever
is
it is, you got to
yeah.
send a check before I watch Luton. So
I will
I'm
watch
just saying,
Luton. I like Luton, especially at home. Give
man, I'm
me
not even
the
what.
Kenny.
No,
Give me the Kenny on a Friday night against somebody, and give me Adebayo on a header. Freaking knocking dudes over.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
look,
see, yeah, I like Morgan Gibbs White too. I like him too. But
well, I'm
McAtee's a
trying to show
City
that
player.
fool. Yeah,
Okay.
but like Gibbs, yeah, well, Gibbs White is good. Actually, he's
He's really
linked
good.
to Newcastle today. Everybody, man, I'm telling you,
Ooh.
that wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? Gibbs White, isn't he the one that got into a fight with Rodri?
Rodri. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that call, but I mean that's not bad. Big up Robbie, man.
Listen,
Just late
they need
again.
him. Like,
Like, subscribe, and comment.
if he
Yes,
doesn't
sir.
play, New Nottingham Forest are going down. Like, period. It's gone.
Yeah, I'm not watching that here for you.
Come on, man. What
Nah,
kind of
man.
person are you? You got to watch them all. You got to watch as much as you can. You got to get involved with all the weird.
Nottingham Forest. Let me see. 16. Hell no. If you ain't make it to 12, Bournemouth 12 though. I mean that's
They're good.
not
They're
bad.
good,
The
man.
Bournemouth they got out of the relegation zone. Remember in the
Facts.
beginning of the season,
Yes,
they were
I
like
was
down
sure
there.
they'd go down, but
I
I
think
didn't.
I
I
think it
was
was
not.
they beat Newcastle. They beat Newcastle 3-0.
Right,
They
your
they
boy Sinistera who lit him up, or
Yep.
is it Semenyo? Um,
I don't
I
remember,
was not
but
familiar with Mr. Andoni's work in La Liga, but apparently he was very good, and he is a Bielsismo, so he played under Bielsa, and he lit a fire under that team, changed the whole thing around, benched Philip Billing. Why not Philip Billing? Maybe Philip Billing is a good player for the great and powerful tune. He's big, he's strong, runs.
man, we need names, bro. We need names. We don't
You
need
got to start somewhere, though.
no, no. You can tell we're not a stepping stone club. You can try it. You can join anybody else. We're not a stepping. We need to be
He'll be
get
available.
into.
I
We
would
got
say
to get to the
Billing.
promised land. Look, we got to talk about this weekend's FA Cup, man. Their fourth
Oh,
round coming up. It's going to be
oh,
really important. Um,
oh.
and of course, you got 3 days later Premier League again. So man, these people
I
get
will.
no
I
rest.
will have.
At least
I will have.
Newcastle don't get a rest.
I will have my eye, and you're gonna laugh at me on Eastlay. No, I'm just kidding. Um, yeah, I think for certain clubs, this is a really fourth round. Wait a minute, what am I looking at? United Newport County. Where's my beloved Manchester City? Who do we got? Oh, Spurs. Oh shit!
Oh yeah, that is true.
Damn,
That is true.
forgot.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's a big game. I think. I think City are. That's City do not win away at Spurs. I think I'm hoping for a draw. I'm serious. We never win. Never win at Spurs. Oh my god, we're
Man, you
doomed.
gotta start with that losing mentality, man.
We're so doomed. Oh my god,
That's
City. I don't think
well,
City has scored. We haven't scored a goal in Spurs Stadium in 2 years, 3 years, I think.
now as far as big teams goes, I know you want to talk about it, but I'm not going to talk about Bristol City and Forest or
No, that's okay.
freaking Leicester City
No,
with Birmingham.
the big FA Cup game is Spurs versus
Spurs
versus
versus City
City.
is big one, and then
Mhm.
you got Chelsea Aston Villa. That's as far as the teams are, you know, around this. Well, Chelsea's not on the level football wise as Aston Villa this season, but
Oh,
Chelsea
dude, you
got
guys.
a lot of
By the
talent.
way, you boys are
We play
not
Fulham,
beating Fulham. You're not beating Fulham.
and we are beating Fulham. I think we
No,
can
you're
do it.
not. I hope you do.
It
Away in London against
Man, we
Fulham.
talking about London. Like, you're kind of scared of London, bro. It ain't nothing in London. It's just great, like everywhere else in England. So, what is it, London? This is not. We're not going to a bad neighborhood and get stabbed to death.
No, it's
It's
very
just
middle class. It's very nice in Fulham.
we're
It's on the
just going
river.
to Fulham, man. The cottage cheese people.
Good luck. I will call it here first. You're losing that game 2-1.
Nah, that's not gonna happen, man. But that's cool.
And
We can do a little.
you're gonna blow it
Let's
late, just like
let
you've blown all the other games late.
listen. We're gonna do a little score prediction real quick. So you say we're gonna lose how much to
2-1.
Fulham? 2-1.
2-1
We're
on a
gonna beat
late
them. We're
goal.
gonna beat them 2-1.
On a late goal
And
by Bobby Cordova Reed.
hell no. Chelsea Aston Villa. That's a big one on
Well,
Friday.
you know what's gonna happen in that game? Chelsea aren't gonna score because they never do. They're gonna lose 1-0.
Mm. Chelsea eliminated from the FA. Well, no, yeah, they will be eliminated. But they're
Yes.
still in the Carabao Cup. So I mean, that's the one
But
they need
they're
to be
down a
focused on.
goal. I think they play that, like,
Against the one and
tomorrow.
only Middlesbrough.
Oh,
Uh,
Middlesbrough
against
legends.
Derby. Our derby. Well, I mean, it's a derby,
Michael
but not.
Carrick in his
Yeah,
hair.
Michael Carrick should have played damn Newcastle, man. I can't believe we let that go.
Hey, you can still get him. You can fire Eddie Howe and get Michael Carrick.
Nah, hell no.
Good
I'm not
luck.
gonna do it. So you think Chelsea are gonna lose against Aston Villa at
One
Stamford
nil.
Bridge?
Yes.
Oh
1-0
wow, man,
to the Villa.
that's crazy. What about Tottenham City? Friday as well too. How the hell you gonna put Chelsea Villa and Tottenham Man City playing at the same time? That just
Because
what are
it's run by the FA and they're morons. They don't know
the
what they're
Morons,
doing.
man? You gonna tell me that you're gonna
I
give
think this is gonna
I cannot
be
hold on, time out. You're gonna give Ipswich and Maidstone United their own time,
yes.
and you're not gonna
Because
give Tottenham City.
because
Let me just let me.
because you don't understand the magic of the cup. They want the lower league game. They want to show Maidstone because they're out of the football league. In
Yeah,
England, that game will play.
man. I don't care if you show it, you put it on my face 24/7. I'm not watching that, man.
You don't get it, man. You don't get it.
Oh, I get it.
You haven't been bitten by the cup.
Okay. Well, so what do you think? What do you think? City
Oh,
and
City, 2-3. City wins on a late goal, scoring
I
3
think
goals
City are
against
going to
Spurs.
win too. At Tottenham, keep that in mind.
Ugh.
As far as other big matches go, I mean, you got Man City, Newport County. If they don't win that one, then you got big, big problems. Liverpool,
Is it a
Norwich,
are they at is it at Old
And
Trafford or at Newport?
Newport and
Ooh.
Newport.
Newport County, for all the friends who don't know, is in Wales. So they're nearby, your Wrexhams in the world. Newport County historically has the worst pitch in all of world football. Awful. Ripped up like a freaking teenager's face with pimples.
Mm,
United will have trouble in that game. I promise you. I promise you,
that's funny.
United will have trouble in that game. They have to make it ugly. Newport County is going to rough them up, and we're going to see if they're tough. I promise you.
All right. As far as big matches, that's the one. That's the it. But so let's jump onto the Premier League a few days
Oh,
later.
oh,
Started on Tuesday. Arsenal
oh.
Forest at Forest. So that's
Ooh, tough
a
game.
difficult one. Man, Arsenal need to win, don't they, man? Like
They
that's
do.
crazy. And Nottingham Forest away. But then again, Spurs beat them. So
Yep.
don't let Arsenal lose because Spurs fans are going
Oh
they're gonna be
gosh.
all over the
Well,
place.
listen, again, my friend Gary Neville, who I trust more than anyone in my whole life, in his last episode of the Gary Neville podcast, of which he is the only guest who's ever been on it. He just gets interviewed by his co-host. He thinks that Spurs are in the title race and that they can pip Arsenal and that they're there. And I
Mm,
don't disagree. Crazier things have happened. I just think the depth will catch up to them in the end. Like they really need to get through these games without Son. They need Werner to score a goal. If Werner scores a goal, then I think that they can do stuff. But yeah, what'd
yeah.
you say? Arsenal. Yeah, they have to win. They can't lose any games at this point. It's like you cannot drop any more points because we know that Liverpool and City will just keep going and chase you down like the Terminator. If you think about the Terminator, one of the famous lines is, he doesn't sleep. They won't stop. He'll keep coming and he'll never stop until you're dead. That is what Liverpool and City will do. They don't stop. They will keep coming until you're dead and they will make you die.
Okay.
Let's see. The schedule here, yeah, we got Tuesday. Liverpool, Chelsea, big game, big game, big game. And then you've got Villa at Villa Park for your beloved Tunes
Yeah. Just 3 days later after Fulham, man, that's gonna be tough.
up and back.
That's
That
gonna
is
be
going to be
tough.
tough.
But Liverpool
You know
Chelsea is a
what I
big
would
one.
do? I'm not being funny. I would I would ditch that FA Cup or ditch this game. One of
No,
the
man,
two.
you're crazy.
You're not good enough. You're not ready. Do you want to
Well,
go for the trophy or do you want to try for
we
the top 4? One or the other. You can't do both.
mm,
There's not enough depth. This is where Eddie Howe has to make really, really hard decisions. Either gas that freaking FA Cup game, send the kids down to Fulham, do the best you can. If you can get away with it, do it. Like do like Isaac, Smiley, and then a bunch of kids, or you got to rest up for this Villa game because if you try and win both of them, you'll end up with neither. It's tough when you don't have depth.
it is 100% tough, man, but we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no avoiding it because like you say ditch, but what do you we don't even have players to ditch. You just got to play everybody that you need to play.
Well, you just play
So,
the kids. You just you go to the academy and you play them. I mean, you take it on the chin. You've seen Liverpool used to do it. Klopp would do it. He would play games where he would just be like, you know what, we can't stretch for this game too,
mm,
and you just take it on the chin. And you go, this is the best we can do. Now for Newcastle, I think the FA Cup is at this point more important. But from a
yep.
money perspective, it's really hard to make those decisions. As I look on this schedule, Wolves, Man United, I guarantee you Wolves will beat United. I would put my fucking house on it. That's how bad
Yeah.
United are.
You're frozen by the way.
Oh no, what happened? Oh, it's whenever I start clicking
you
around the internet.
You
Can you
freeze.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but you freeze
Oh, okay.
through the end of the show.
Oh shit.
But
Well, we
look,
can
yeah,
rest
man.
in
I mean,
peace.
you got Liverpool, Chelsea, so that's to me is going to be. I mean, there's no way. I mean, it's going to be a 3-0 Liverpool win. Um, yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah,
I think so.
even no Salah, you don't care.
They beat Bournemouth. They're fine. They're Bournemouth and Chelsea about the same.
Oh
Tottenham.
no, oh I don't know. Cole Palmer's pretty good.
Yeah, that's about their only hope. I mean,
Cold
Solanke
Palmer
is
with
pretty good too.
the unique goal celebration where he rubs his arms because he's cold.
Yeah, that's a subliminal message, man. If he started doing that at Man City, that's a go at the fans.
This it's City's tough, man. It's hard to break into that team. Phil Foden is becoming a regular, and it's taken him 4 years, and he's still 23, but
Hey man, Tottenham Brentford. Tottenham should get this one.
they should. But Ivan Toney's back. Brentford away from home. I don't like Brentford in this game. I think Tottenham will pull this one off.
And then we
Um,
got Man United and Wolves at Wolves.
Dude, they're not beating Wolves. No chance. Zero. Wolves are too
And
good.
then, dude, and then we play. Then they play again on what the hell's going on with the Premier League, man? They're not trying to rest anybody,
Well, they just
man.
had 2 weeks off. They got to keep going.
Man, what the hell, man? It just
It
that
never stops. It never stops.
one thing I can say, I wouldn't hate to be a player, man. They make a lot of money, so fuck that.
Yeah. Well, you need more players. You need a bigger squad, and I have to figure out why I keep freezing whenever I try and surf the internet while I'm on the show.
Yep. Anyways, that was it for the show, man. It was a great just conversation, sit down talk with the one and only Laurent Cortines. My name is Chris, the American Magpie, and
Doing great, man. You're doing great.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got big news this weekend, man. We're gonna for the Magpie Show, so stay tuned. It's gonna be a busy week, and we got a lot going on. So just as far as the Football Tonight podcast, subscribe, like, leave the show with a like, and let's get to as many subscribers as we can. We're about to get 1,000 subscribers on this channel as well. So
Vamos!
let's help the show get to the 1,000. Is always going to be good. After that, we can do whatever we want, basically. So listen,
Yes. Yes,
yeah, man.
sir.
Appreciate everybody. Of course, like, subscribe, and if you are listening on Spotify on Apple Podcasts, please share, like, whatever positive button you see around you, click it. It helps us a lot to keep growing. It's for now. We
All
will see
right.
you on the next one. Bye bye.
I'm off to Taekwondo. Hiya!
Let's go.